Hey guys, it's Coach Nolan. I want to talk a little bit about food prep and how we prepare our foods, and something that hopefully will make it a little bit easier for you. So basically what we do is we take our 21-day fix, we'll take the nutrition plan from that, and we'll post the food containers inside of our cabinet. And basically we'll use that to reference back to as we prepare our meals, and then also throughout the week as we grab our meals out of the refrigerator to go. So basically if you look at the list, we've got two numbers for each list wrote on there. After your calculations, you'll come up with how many of each container you can have a day. So basically, we've got my number and her number. So I could have 3 purples and she could have 2. I could have 4 greens and she could have 3, and so on and so forth. And that way we know that we can reach in the refrigerator every day and we can grab out the amount that we can use. It's also important to note on these food lists, all these foods are good for you. If you want to keep it as clean as possible, as you possibly can, you'll want to you'll want to try to eat from at least the top half, if not the top third of that list, and really narrow it down. The foods are listed, if you will, I guess, in order from best to worst. But so that's just something else to to kind of try to consider. So, all right, I've already put some meals together, but I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. First of all, we'll start with the purple container, which is my fruit. You basically take all your fruit. I did strawberries, but you can use strawberries or whatever kind of fruit you want to do. So basically, you want to prepare that whole package of that. So the whole package of strawberries that I had, I would wash them, cut them up, and fill this container up. So once the container was full of strawberries, I put it in a Ziploc bag. That's 1 serving. Again, do the same thing. That's another serving. And so you get the idea. We basically just use these containers to measure with only. And again, you would want to do all your fruits that way that you had. And then we'll talk a little bit about, a lot of people ask me how I fix my spaghetti squash, and I've got some of that fixed. So basically your spaghetti squash, it comes like this, and you'll basically cut that in half and scrape the seeds out of it and place both halves in the oven. Depending on the size of the squash, you probably want to bake it anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. And once you get done, or once that comes out, you can basically just take a fork and you just rake the inside of it out with a fork, and it comes out and looks just like pasta. It's very, very good. And that's what I've got here in these meals. So basically what I've done is I took this green container for my spaghetti squash, because it's a vegetable. So I filled that up, and then I dumped it in this container here. And then what I did, I prepared a bunch of ground turkey meat. So I would take my protein container for my meat. I filled my turkey meat up, my ground turkey meat up in there. I put it in that container. And then I took my purple container, filled it up with my tomato sauce, poured that in there. And so that's a meal. That's one purple container, one red container, and one green container is in that meal there. So if you wasn't sure what it was or couldn't remember, sometimes you can put a Post-it note on there and write down what's on that meal. These meals will keep in the refrigerator for a couple of days, or you can put them in the freezer. But it's super simple, super easy, something you can grab and go. They would just go in the microwave for a few minutes, heat them up, and they're ready to go, and they're really good. The next meal I put together here is sweet potato, broccoli, and chicken. So what I've done with that is I've prepared a bunch of sweet potatoes. I let those cool. I peeled the skin off of them, and then I prepared a bunch of chicken. Took a bunch of chicken and cut it all up, cooked it in a frying pan, sauteed it up. And so basically what I did there is I put a sweet potato in each one of these containers. And I took my my chicken, and I filled the red container up with my chicken. I poured it in there. And so then I fixed a bunch of broccoli. And so then I took my green container and I filled that full of broccoli, and I dumped it in there. And you would continue to just do that for the food that you prepared. So there's 2 more meals. And then the last meals I put together here are chicken and rice and salsa. So same thing again goes. I took my yellow container, packed my brown rice in there. Again, we're just using these containers to measure with. So put my rice in there, took my red container, put my chicken in there, dumped it out, took my purple container, and filled it up with salsa. Put that in there. And then there you go. You got 2 more meals. That's another purple, a green, and a red. So, and actually with this chicken and rice and salsa, I'll add a little bit of cheese to that after I warm it back up in the microwave here in a few days. So anyway, that's something quick and easy and simple that you can do to prepare your foods. And I hope you got the idea. I hope that made sense for you. Again, we just use our containers to measure with only. And if you look at the list for each container, it tells you exactly what foods you can put in there. And you can see, I mean, I have a pretty good variety here, and you can mix and match and use your imagination and be very creative with it. The sky's the limit. So, you know, I hope that helped. Comment on the video, let me know, and catch you guys later. Thanks.